you can see the inside of the camera. So now we are in the menu of the camera, and we are able to control everything just with the keyboard. Yeah. So the system itself contains the camera, the blackbody source. You can easily get into the camera with the, or you can get the view from the camera thanks to HDMI cable, and you can control the camera thanks to USB keyboard. So once you get into the camera, you see this menu. You have couple of sections where you can influence whatever you need to set. It's quite simple. There is not many functions like in case of other cameras, and you can do easily everything with the keyboard. So in the first part you see the range. You can set your maximal value, you can set your minimal. That's what we usually set. It's like 20 degrees up to 40-41, depends on the situation and the usage of the operator. In the second field, you see how easily you can switch the main camera, which could be visible or thermal. For this application, I think the most common situation will be that the thermal camera will be on. For recognizing the person, then you can switch to the main one, to the visible one, so you can define which person was, for example, with a higher temperature. In the next section, you see that you can capture the images, or you can record the video, or you can do the calibration in case that the thermal image needs to have it. That's the standard procedure, and you probably all know how the NUC works. In the next section, you see that you have just a few variations of palettes. The most useful one would be the gray one, because you have everything black and white, and in case of any alarm, you get all the pixels which are above the critical temperature in the highlighted color. So now on the right part of the menu, you see the preventive temperature, and you see also the critical. So the preventive we set on 37, and it's in yellow color, and the critical is everything above 38 will get red. We have one more video where we again did played with the blackbody source temperature, and you will see how it looks in case that somebody has a higher temperature. So in the next section, which is the called measure, you can see that you can put your measuring crosses on. You have the maximum temperature, which will always indicate the highest temperature in the scene. You have a cross center temperature in case you need to measure the central point, and you can also show the black body temperature. In this section, you can see how it works. In case that the black body error on the right side, when you moved with the cross of the black body. So in case you are not calibrated on the black body, you will get this error message, black body error. So now with the arrows, you can easily again set the black body source again and calibrate. On the next parameters, you can influence the alarms. You can have it on, have it off. In the most cases, you will have it on, of course. And here you can set your critical and preventive temperature, which is again very easy. To do it by the keyboard. So you see how you can change the temperature easily with your arrows and set everything as you need. But in most cases, I think the 37 and 38 will be D1. In the last section, you can influence some parameters regarding the RGB camera. You can also set what you want to record, if it's radiometric images, if it's JPEG images, or the other. You can set your colors for alarms, but again, yellow and red, it's quite useful for understanding what's wrong. And you can set your opacity of the alarms, which you will see in the second video. Here you can set where you want to store your images. Currently on this camera, there was just the internal SSD, so it has an internal memory, which you can always connect with your USB cable and download all the data. If there is any update in firmware, you can update it here in this section. In the system, you see what's the language and some information about the system. Also here in information, you have the serial number and so on. So this is basically how it works inside. It's very easy. There is nothing complicated. Everything is intuitive, and even not very smart operator can really do this job and see if somebody has the fever or not. So Jan, if you please can put there the second video. On the second video, as I mentioned, we again played with the temperature. So this is how it looks. This is how it looks if somebody has the temperature above the critical points. So you see that yellow pixels are above 36.2 and above 35, which is the preventive, and all the red are above 36.2. So this is how it looks. This is how it looks when operator can see when somebody has a higher temperature. And here you can see how you change it again in the measuring section of the menu. Yep, so that's it.